Millions of New Yorkers are going to see some extra cash coming their way for what Governor Hochul describes as an inflation refund.
So how much could you be getting back? News 4's Andrew Siff explains who would get them and when.
Many wish it was a more permanent savings.
Cut taxes. How about that? But I'll take the check if it's free.
But they're not about to turn down a refund.
Every penny counts. That's how I see it. She giving me that $200 check, I'll take it.
Governor Kathy Hochul today signed a prop check, but the real money is in the works. Millions of New York households will be receiving envelopes that look like this, a refund check inside.
We're going to make it simple. We're going to make it happen. And this is for people in every corner of our state.
The checks to be sent this fall will pay $200 to individuals making less than $75,000 a year and $150 for those making between $75,000 and $150,000. Married couples filing jointly can get $400 if they make less than $150,000 and $300 if they make between $150,000 and $300,000.
But every $300 probably counts. And it helps.
When the price of eggs and other items soared, the governor said the state received an unexpected $2 billion in sales tax surplus. And budget advisors informed Hochul she couldn't use those funds to protect other departments from federal cuts.
This is basically one-time, non-recurring money. So I can't use this to make up for Medicaid cuts or education cuts or anything else.
Harlem grandma Alicia Barksdale was invited to speak at Hochul's announcement today, talking about the high cost of living.
Rent, mortgage, food is too damn high. Excuse the expression.
But some New Yorkers are skeptical of the politics. Next year is an election year for Hochul.
We're going to get the money and we're going to get taxed. The lower income, they get free money, they're buying votes.
With more than 8 million households across the state set to receive these checks, there's no exact timetable of when they'll be sent out. The governor's office says to expect them in October and November before the holidays. On the east side, Andrew Siff, News 4 New York.
It's a loan against the next year's taxes. They're gonna turn around and say, okay, you made an extra $300 on top of, or an extra $150 on top of your yearly income. One of the things we realize they don't do anything new. It's the same thing over and over.
I'm guessing that's because he's finally in the room. Okay, for those who aren't able to hear me, because I just realized my mic was on the wrong. We're going to get it right, guys. We're going to get it right. But welcome to Breakfast with the Thomases. Mr. Thomas is going to be on shortly. He's getting himself ready. Tech be teching, and we don't worry about it. I want to thank everybody who's on all our platforms. If you're on YouTube, share it out. If you are on YouTube, share it out. And remember, you can always type in the in the chat if you want. We will respond. We're letting everybody know this is a conversation. So let's get it moving. Let's keep it moving. We want to bring to you, I hit the notification. See, I forgot to tell half the folks we know. All right. We want to bring to you some conversations about reality. We got to deal with what's happening. But then what about what we can do about it? Right? How are we empowered? So it's good to know that you are in the right place at the right time with the right people having this conversation. Most of you guys are asking yourself, oh, did I get the check? My aunts, I'll let you know right now, last night, we share with everybody on our platforms that there's always a family night every Tuesday. Has been since 2019. We've been doing Tuesday night Zoom. And it has been a phenomenal experience because it keeps us bonded and connected with our family members that we don't get to see except on Facebook. And it has been a weird existence until we decided to take action. And so we've been doing Tuesday nights faithfully every week, no matter who shows up. It's a family effort. What we want to make sure you guys understand is that's where this program comes from. This commitment and dedication to family, getting information, being aware, knowing what's going on. State by state, we are getting powers to do things. Guys, did y'all know that Texas and several other states, and they're now building in numbers, are making gold and silver legal tender? That means you can actually use gold and silver, which, by the way, is going up, as a way to pay for the things that you have. But don't get it twisted. There are rules to this game. And that's what we here at P2G make it very, very clear, to make sure you learn so you can move and you got that confidence and you get to build your lifestyle no matter what's happening out here. Your home is what matters. Stop listening to the news and only get the info that you choose. Because unfortunately, we are all being rope-a-doped by television. You're being rechained to the connection, connected to the system by these little screens. And not all of us have this same voice. I want to make sure you get this message every other day, like we have been for the last 3 years now, with Breakfast with the Thomases. So with that, we're going to come into our regular, and definitely not this dude. I hate to say it, not the dude that was in here. We're going to get you guys a really good video on what's happening with the economy, what's going on with the money. And I know you guys really want to need to know this. I know some of us don't want to see it. They don't want to know it. That's fine. But the problem with that is it ain't going nowhere. So keep in mind, it's here for the duration. Okay? So since it's here for the long haul and you ain't going nowhere, we might as well find out and get to know. Hey, Mr. Thomas. Uh-oh. Mr. T forgot to cut off one of his mics. Let's see how we do. Are you in, Mr. T? Oh, no. All right, we're getting there. Don't worry. We'll get you there. Since he's not able to come in, let's get you guys the video so that you get the information. Peace.
Something massive is happening right now in the global financial system that will redefine the dollar, your wealth, and the entire monetary system as we know it. It all has to do with stablecoins, the so-called less volatile cryptocurrencies that were supposed to free us from fiat, but now somehow are holding it all together, propping up the dollar, creating demand for U.S. debt, and keeping the system alive just a little bit longer. In fact, the largest U.S. dollar stablecoin issuer, Tether, just made a bold prediction claiming that in the next 5 years, all currencies will become exclusively stablecoins, meaning the dollar as we know it today will cease to exist, replaced entirely by a digital, tokenized private version. But here's the twist. While pushing out stablecoin dollars to the entire world, Tether is also buying up gold. Not paper promises, but real, physical, tangible gold. Even going so far as to invest in mining companies, ensuring that they have a supply for what comes next after the reset. Some would call that ironic, while others would say that it's all part of a much larger plan. But either way, one thing is clear. We are catapulting towards a completely controlled digital future, one where every transaction will be tracked and a wealth transfer from those holding digital promises to real tangible assets could be here much quicker than we think. Stablecoins were created to bridge the gap between more volatile cryptocurrencies and traditional fiat currencies. Essentially, a stablecoin is a type of cryptocurrency, but it is stable because its value is pegged one-to-one to an external asset, something like the dollar or gold. This digital asset, the stablecoin that's now backed one-to-one, could be used for transactions or savings without any of your finances having to leave into traditional banks, essentially a decentralized tool for financial freedom. But as their adoption exploded, something changed. Instead of challenging the system, they moved closer and closer to the center, rapidly now being integrated into the very system they were meant to disrupt. Let me back up. The dollar has been the global reserve currency for 80 years, meaning it has been the foundation of international trade and finance, but that foundation is cracking. As U.S. debt has ballooned to nearly $38 trillion and interest payments are unsustainable, foreign nations are no longer interested in buying the same level of U.S. debt that they once were. But this creates a serious problem for the U.S. because without that constant demand for treasuries, the entire system that we've built collapses. So the U.S. needed a new buyer and needed one quick. Enter stablecoins. Earlier this year, President Trump passed the Genius Act, which essentially required that all U.S. dollar stablecoins were backed one-to-one by U.S. dollars or U.S. treasuries. Now, this was touted as a way to protect the consumer, to keep these stablecoins stable. But in reality, it created an instant stopgap for the declining demand for U.S. debt. The genius of this act is that now, globally, anytime someone uses a dollar stablecoin, that much U.S. debt is purchased in equal amount. And right now, 99% of stablecoin demand is U.S. dollars, primarily being used for retail. It could be crypto trading or merchant payments. This is because stablecoins are faster than traditional digital dollars, they operate with less fees, and there's more access where traditionally maybe there wasn't before, which is a huge win for the U.S. because now you have citizens in countries from Nigeria to Argentina using stablecoins where otherwise their access to dollars might have been restricted. These citizens aren't doing it to support the U.S. directly, but that is exactly what inadvertently all this utilization is doing. But if you think that this is a temporary blip or it's not going to last, stablecoin utilization is on a tear. In fact, if it continues at its current trajectory, it will completely outpace traditional fiat currency volume in a matter of a couple of years. What do you think? Do you think that stablecoins are here to completely replace the dollar, that we are heading towards a tokenized digital future? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear from you. Because Tether just came out with a bold prediction. They claim that in the next 5 years, all fiat currencies will become stablecoins. The dollar, the euro, the yen, you name it. Essentially, what they're saying is that fiat currencies as we know them today will cease to exist and instead will be represented or completely replaced by the stablecoin tokenized version. To be clear, this isn't like Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency replacing the dollar. This is a tokenized digital programmable trackable version of the dollar. It's not a CBDC because it's not issued by a central bank, but it will be a digital version of the dollar existing on a blockchain that will completely replace the dollar as we know it today. And do not worry, I'm going to talk about devaluation in a second, but first, there are serious systemic risks with this that not enough people are talking about. Beneath all that digital innovation lies the same problem that we have today with the dollar, which is a lack of trust. Stablecoins, again, are only as stable as the asset that's backing them, which is U.S. treasuries. The moment that confidence breaks, those stablecoin dollars, which in the next 5 years could replace the dollar as we know it, could lose all value overnight. In fact, we've already seen this happen with other stablecoins. In 2022, Terra and Luna, two U.S. stablecoins, collapsed because there essentially was a stablecoin bank run equivalent. And once that confidence and trust broke, everything was gone in a matter of days. Now, to be fair, there are different types of stablecoins. These relied more on a mathematical algorithm to derive their value, but either way, we've seen it happen before, and it could easily happen here as well. The system won't be more stable. It will just be bigger, faster, and directly plugged into sovereign debt. Don't even get me started on the fact that, again, when you think about these issuers of stablecoins that are going to replace our currency, they are private corporations. We're talking about Tether, Circle, these private businesses that will now be solely responsible for not only propping up our debt, the entire machine our country is built on, but again, the currency that we're using. So as far as moral concerns go, or what that could look like for power plays, I mean, if you have a private company that, again, is holding you by the you-know-what as a country because they own your debt, they own your currency, they control you. I'm not saying that the people in government right now are working for you and me, but I am saying that this is even one step further away from the system we have now, right? Into dystopian control. We're going to have private corporations controlling the dollar and our debt. The risks are tremendous. But this is where the irony is almost too much to bear. And I mentioned this earlier, but these companies are not only promoting US dollar stablecoins as the future, they're simultaneously buying the one asset that exposes the dollar's weakness: gold. Tether, the world's largest U.S. stablecoin issuer, now holds billions of dollars worth of gold, and they are investing in royalties and mining as well, ensuring that if anything happens to the dollar, they are prepared with physical gold. They're hedging their bets against the one thing that they're promoting out to the entire rest of the world. They know what comes next, the same way you do, the same way I do, the same way those in history who have lived through currency resets do, the same way that central banks today are buying record amounts of gold, the most in modern history. They're not doing it for fun. They're not doing it because they're confused. They're doing it because they are positioning for a new system where the dollar is not at the center. And that is also a critical key component here. Too many people I see every day think that stable coins are the answer, that it's going to solve the debt problem. But it's not the case. Yes, it's temporarily going to boost up that supply, but it cannot go on forever. Eventually, with the technology the way it exists, this is going to be a temporary solution, but it eventually will open us up to even more risk of a greater and faster collapse. Just last month, a top aide to Russian President Vladimir Putin, Anton Kobiakov, came out on the global stage and called a spade, saying that the United States was preparing to do a global rug pull on everyone, ensuring that everyone across the world were using these dollar stablecoins. And once there were enough people using them, once adoption was strong enough, what would they do? They would turn around and revalue those stablecoins. So instead of being backed 1-to-1, maybe it's backed 1 to 50 cents. Well, what does that mean for everyone out there who's using them? Which, again, even if you're sitting there thinking, oh, that will never be me, it might be the only option in a matter of a few years. And at that point, what they're going to do is devalue the stablecoin, which effectively will boost the U.S. balance sheets, help reduce the debt burden, and everyone else has to pay for it. It would destroy the value of the currency for everyone else, even anyone holding dollars or dollar-denominated assets. Even if it's not a stablecoin, traditional dollars would also lose their value the same way. And if you think it can't happen today, think again. We've already done it here in the U.S. In 1933, President Roosevelt confiscated gold bullion. Rare and collectible coins were exempt, which I always call out because it's very important to make sure that when you buy your physical gold, you work with someone who understands all these historical laws, parallels today, and where we're going next so you can protect yourself. But once he confiscated the bullion, what happened next? Well, they revalued it. Gold went from $20.67 an ounce to $35 an ounce. What did that mean? It meant the U.S. balance sheets were instantly boosted, right? The value of all the gold they held propped everything up. And what happened to everyone holding dollars? Well, they lost 70% of their wealth, over half of their wealth overnight. I always ask people, can you afford to lose half of your savings, your retirement, your wealth that you worked so hard for? Because that is where we are headed next. The technology might look different, but the scheme is the same. And right now we are at a fork at the road. And I don't know if we have the power as a community to change where we are going, the trajectory, the course that we're on. I really don't have an answer to that. But what I do know is that we still have time today to take action to protect our own wealth and create generational wealth for our families, making sure that we're protected against what's coming next. But that window won't be there forever. As this technology continues to evolve and adoption is widespread, well, what is going to happen next? There will be less exit hatches, right? It will be harder and harder to make sure that you convert your dollars into physical gold and silver before it's too late. History has shown us time and time again how this ends. And if you're not familiar or you want to learn more, we do have a free resource. I highly recommend that everyone downloads it. It's called the Built to Endure report. If you haven't already gotten your copy, scan the QR code to download it. Click the link in the description. Either way, get your copy today. Make sure that you're prepared. It has 100 years of data of different currency resets, what has happened to the fiat currency, in this case, the dollar, versus how gold has helped protect wealth. And as always,
Okay, so we are going to stop there. This is awesome. We love the fact that this is an amazing program for learning. ITM Trading is an awesome place for learning. They teach about gold and silver. Now, I can't agree with everything she's saying. Some things she is saying, just keep in mind that a lot of that is speculation, and these are not exacts about what they're going to do next. They kind of speak in the what comes next from prediction, not from any knowing of planning of what's going to happen or what's set to, that the government has given them secret information. So please, by all means, take this information with a grain of salt. And remember, I need you all to do your own homework. You are not here to be led by us. You are here to be shared with a community and given a respect of mind, of your mind. We are on multiple platforms having a conversation with Breakfast with the Thomases for a reason. We must, as a community, start moving. We have to start moving. If you haven't started moving in this space when it comes to crypto, gold, and silver. Now, stable coins, I need you guys to understand, I've been in this game for coming on to 8 years now when it comes to crypto. Crypto ain't been around that long, okay? Previous to that, it was here for 2010, about 4 or 5 years before I got here in the space. And I'm a tech learning and teaching. I'm a tech, meaning I fix and build computers. I work in technology before it even got here. Now I'm gonna share with y'all a little something. I know the history of the money. I know the history, and just to share with y'all, this is what we teach. The history of the money, which, by the way, gold being the oldest and the most successful financial plan for any family. Only guarded and protected by those that would have us be the masses and the consumers for life. You and your kids have been set up to be consumers. And this is what's happening now. All because we weren't taught the stuff that P2G specializes in. The things that our platform and partners specialize in. How to access, get it now, what to buy, how much to buy, how to get it on your budget. That's what we're talking about. It's funny how people start conversations, and I've noticed this. People will start a conversation, but they won't finish it, and then they'll regret it because later they'll go, I could have did that if I would have just. I only had that happen to me one time. That was Bitcoin. And that's when I stopped having that happen. Because first, because my own mentality and my own mindset said everything's a scam. So when someone told me about Bitcoin in 2014, that sounds like a scam to me. But when I look at how much Bitcoin was then and how much it is now, and I thought about, I didn't get a chance to really put my mind into the world effects of the economy. I had to take the time to learn something, get new information, get new resources, meet new people who had new info so that I could get a wider view of why my current local finances were suffering constantly, going in and out of debt. And I don't mean good debt. I mean, now I know how to manage debt as a good thing and use it to forward my agenda. I didn't have that. And all that was missing was financial literacy. And we have moved into the digital phase. Now we teach digital financial literacy. That's our platform. That's P2G's platform. Digital financial literacy is where you're going to come and learn how to, by hands-on, step by step, get into this space and learn how to think about it and to move in it and build your portfolio. Because money is not the point. I think you guys forget. They're fooling with the money. She just explained it and showed you the history. Why would you be chasing something someone can print into impunity? So we've got to start turning this thing around. We're not going so fast. Your finances aren't moving so fast that you could just do anything. You know, you can't move. You can't get out of this space. I'm gonna be here. Ms. Ruby, you don't understand. I ain't got no money. But guess what? You do. What you don't have is financial literacy. You don't understand yet or understand how powerful you are. Really, how important. Why would the masses be trying to keep you away from information? Hold up, Mr. T. You got to mute. Why would the masses be trying to keep you away from information like this? Why would they want you to hold yourself back? Why would they want you to keep yourself small? Why would you go to places like church, school, and even universities and learn how to stay in your lane? Because your lane was set at your birth when they decided the financial system through the education system. When people talk about education is key, it truly is. And different educations get different outcomes. There's a book I want you all to read, and you get it free on YouTube. So stop the bull. You can listen to it. Knowledge is available for now. Y'all understand? It's universal and available. And some things you can't get on YouTube, reach out to a sister, because I know I keep my stuff. I hold on to my stuff offline. I like to make sure I can always put my hands on raw history. So if you need to get that info, hit a sister up. I'm at P2G Networks on YouTube, P2G Networks TV on YouTube. I'm on P2G Networks on Facebook. Hit a sister up. We have a free group. Y'all hop in. Say, hey, what's up, Miss Ruby? I'm here. We ready to grow. We ready to roll. It's time to learn, community, because what we don't have is going to hurt us into these next generations. This is what we call a generational shift. We are going to be moving. It's a wealth shift, which leads to generational wealth for some, but generational curses for the next 10 generations. Not even 10 years, babies. 10 generations. They're looking at 100 years before another shift can happen. I know at least before Bitcoin does. All right, sis may not be available. That's all right. Guys, I need you all to start realizing that we don't come together just to talk. We come together to introduce what's available, get in the room, and then we get to work. Now, when she was talking about those stable coins, okay, we're going to go back to the first video for Hochul. I want to talk about what that's about. Because there's something you could do if you're getting them checks. You better do it now. There's something you can do about it. Because when I got my first stimmy, my only stimmy, Trump was like, yo, say thank you. You appreciate you. Yeah, I know you appreciate me. He sent me a letter. I got one stimmy. I can tell you where some of that money is today. 2021. Yeah. Y'all talk about it. I can tell you where some of that money was distributed today and what it's doing right now. That's the difference between digital financial literacy and no financial literacy. See, because instead of buying TVs, going to Walmart and blowing up my refrigerator, going out, hanging out, going to, sitting out, having lobsters and taking my friends out and everything, I decided I knew what to do with it. And when you know what to do with money, you don't have to be scared. And that means any amount of money. The platform you're looking at is called Pennies to Gold. The platform you're looking at is called P2G Pennies to Gold Networks. It's been in place for 5 years. And we're here to tell you we ain't going nowhere. We told the world this was coming. and let our communities know. And everybody was like, nah. But we still taught those who would come to class. See, but you got to come to class because class ain't free no more. Tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, hop on. We have a community conversation, 7 p.m. on p2gnetworks.com. Go straight to our class schedules and sign up for tonight. Get the link. It's free. Tonight you can come in and sit down and have a conversation. We're going to talk about some facts of life. We're going to talk about some things you could do. We're going to talk about your situation directly, not in the group, but we're going to be having a conversation where you get your answers. Are you willing to go the next level for the things that you say that you need? Are you willing to sit and suffer and see it get worse? See, let me tell you, you don't even know where you're living. You don't know who you are. You don't know how they see you, because all that matters is how they see you on paper. That's what we teach on Sundays. That comes on Sunday. Well, we don't teach it on Sunday. We introduce you, because the class for that, you got to manage. That's your information. That's personal and private. But see, that's the problem. You all are functioning in the public thinking you have private lives and entitlements. That's where all this comes from. Your lack of knowing who you are, what you're capable of, and how important you are to someone, and not being able to leverage that as your lifestyle becomes the most important thing in your life. The first time I ever got sovereign money, I had, and when I say sovereign, that means off hands, off limits, baby. Without master, to self, private. It was gold and silver. I didn't know that. And the next sovereign monies I had was crypto. Because in that space, there was no controller, no master. No one could take it away. And no one can today. And that whole situation you were hearing her talk about with those stable coins, let me try to explain this. There are too many ways to come out of crypto than stable coins, let alone Tether. Whatever you're hearing has purpose. Tether was just on the chopping block because they were coming away from, they were de-dollarizing Tether, removing away from dollars, giving themselves space. So it wasn't being pegged dollar for dollar. Look up the program before you listen to somebody. We teach you to research because people get, I realized one of the things in my program, we kept telling people, do your own homework, but people didn't know how to do that. So what I taught you is how I research. What I teach you in class is how I research so that you can learn how to build your researching skills. We now have the ultimate research machines that gather more information than Google ever did. We now have AI to pull in information, and you have more than one source. See, I even teach you how to pit and piece them to get different AIs to give you what you need. So you need to come to class because it's more than crypto we teach. Because the blockchain opened up everything so much more than crypto. It opened up brand new opportunities for the people who live in poor neighborhoods. You can change that. You don't want to live there? You ain't got to. You need to have purposes for being where you at. Not no other alternative. Ask yourself, do you need, I want a house? Yeah. What kind of house do you want? You want some land? When was the last time you had that conversation, my love? With who? Come to the table. We talk about options with Breakfast with the Thomases. We don't boast. That's not what this is about. These are resources. As a matter of fact, I got to put back up. I've been having that one go. So while she's talking about golds and metals and stuff, that's an amazing program. Don't get me wrong. The information, we utilize it. But one of the things I realize is that everybody doesn't have every customer is not made for every program. Does that make, I hope that makes sense to y'all. Everybody's not your customer, everybody. And I realize when some of these programs talk, they talk from a position where they have income flows, they have pensions. They're talking to a certain number of people, certain type of people. Why do we bring the information to y'all? Because you also need it. Those who have, if you're living in the service industry, if you're living in the delivery industry where you guys are fulfillment people, if you're living at, you're living income, you know, I should say check to check, this is the conversation for you. This is where you get yours, where you come up, where you get your retirement from. This is where you build a retirement from zero. This is where we teach you how to move in that thing called the blockchain, utilizing crypto, because it's a tool. It's not the end. I got some friends out here who are building their portfolio in crypto because that's what they feel is, you know, that they feel safe in. But I always have a strong saying. I'm a little older than I look. And I have one of the things that we learned in blockchain that we did not learn until we got into gold and silver was you don't hold it, you don't own it. Paper promises belong to the person holding the physical product. That's in their favor. So make sure you get your physically to you. We showed you on Monday. Silver is running. There are so many people getting silver, physical gold and silver, to where there's a deficit now. When you going to get some? How you going to get some? Miss Ruby, I don't have no money. And Miss Ruby tells you, you have money, you just have no financial literacy. You don't know what to do with money. It's simple as that. You haven't been trained. When are you going to invest your money in getting the training that helps you not only keep your money, but grow your finances? So you never have to worry about not having money. And people keep talking to me, I can't save. Nope, that's not true either. It's what you save in that you're having problems with. You save in the wrong, you don't have assets. Look, I'm giving away my class right now. And there's so much more. This tech age, you're going to need to know what to do, whether you like it or not. So your families, somebody's got to be there to arm your family to what's going on. Because the shift is going to be nasty. And the ones left behind are going to be gone forever. You're not coming back. You're going into the new system because you didn't learn any alternatives. Okay? So I need you, Mr. Thomas, are you ready? All right, just to let you know, you need a camera. If you don't have a camera, it won't let you up. All right. Now I want my family to know out here, it is scary, but worth it. It is necessary for us to have these discussions and keep moving them into actions. That is why we created P2G Networks. We are inviting other teachers. You will have to be vetted. I don't take on all programs, and we don't do education under multi-level marketing. I will let you know right now, I do not do education under multi-level marketing. If you have a multi-level marketing company that has an amazing product that benefits the program, absolutely. I will interview you to come into the network so we can continue to grow and sustain ourselves. We are building Black Wall Street over again on the blockchain. And since my brothers took the name Black Wall Street, which I will also promote, Black Wall Street, I will let you know the process lives with us. I'm really excited about that. Black Wall Street as a real process is happening. I found all these Black Wall Street projects up, but you know what I noticed? None of them have connected to each other. None of them have reached out and looked for other people like them so that we could truly grow a network that could never be taken down by anyone, not from inside or out. My loves, let me share with you. When you don't share, you live in lack. And that is never going to amount to any abundance. We here at P2G live in abundance. There's more than enough room for everyone. There's reason and purpose for everyone's programming. We find a space in our place for you because we ain't doing this by ourselves. I don't begin and end the information. My goal was always to prepare people for the amazingness that would be the blockchain, to give you the foundations, the tools in your own hands that you can use to mold the world however you want. And we do. We mold metaverses. We mold worlds. We are building blocks and bridges to other places in the world, to other countries. That's the power and the advantage that crypto gives you. But will you take into your hands the knowledge? Have you been so disgruntled and disenfranchised by education that you won't even educate yourself? Let's stop listening to headlines and start making them. It's time to just become what you want to see in the world. And that's what we do here at P2G and have for a very long time now. And once again, Mr. Thomas, if you would like to get on video, you have to turn on your camera. You can't come into the room without it. It won't let you up. Just making sure we let them know the rules. Now, for those who would like to join us, our next class is coming. We onboard, like I said, I onboard you to the process and I connect you with our next level. So I'm more like elementary school with digital and crypto. And when it comes to things like building, you're going to learn a little bit of everything and you're going to love it because you'll have now P2G has some special projects coming up. We have something called labs. You are going to be able to see finances grow. And I'm really excited about this. You're going to be able to build finances in the classroom. Yep, you are. We figured out how to show you better than tell you. I've always been that person. And as I tell everybody, I don't teach theory. I never have. There's math. If you pass the 3rd grade, you can get it. If you haven't, we'll get you there. There's tech. If you're able to get on a Zoom or any of these devices, you're already halfway there. There's finance. If you even have $1 or a dime you can find in a seat, in a couch cushion or the seat cushions of your car, you're already there. And there's community. And that part is if you can speak and ask a question and learn to advocate for yourself, you've got everything you need. And that's all we do. That's all we've been doing. Because until you come in the door, you'll never know what the world could be. And we're here for possibilities. Guys, I want to share with you a little bit of something that's taken place in my life recently. I want to say thank you to those who are here for hearing about our Podcast Babes book promotion. Those who showed up on the live on Monday. I was really excited about that. We just, as a matter of fact, is it Monday? Oh my gosh. It's last week. It was last week. And we promoted the book and we was able to put out the book. I'm really excited. It went out Saturday. Some of y'all showed up Saturday because you got invited on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And you all who bought the book, I want to say thank you because our book just hit the top, I guess it's at the top, first? Oh, I'm still getting this. I guess bestseller? #1 bestsellers list. We just did that. It's an anthology. I shared with some of you that I would be a part of an anthology, and it's on I guess it's on what do you call it? Amazon, and you get it on the Kindle. And it's her pain, and basically her pain to raise. Basically her pain becomes her power. And I think I need you guys to realize something. We're all going through journeys right now. That's what's happening. You know, I was at that event and I had the most amazing time listening to the other women in this book. There's over 22 authors for us in this book. So you got 22 stories, including mine. And I got to listen to people throw their pain, from the depth of their soul, things that happened to them, things that used to be what they hid in their lives, that held them back, that they just didn't, they never wanted people to see. And because they exposed that in themselves, they were able to overcome and empower them from their pain. Now, a lot of people ask me, was this for women? How many men are going through the same thing? How many men are dealing with it? No, you don't have to be effeminate to be dealing with things that are things you don't want anyone to see. Things that happen to you that you're just kind of trying to stuff down, but you're not dealing with, that are holding you back from moving forward. That's why I say come to P2G, because there's all kinds of people in our organization that are part of our networks. There's people who have healing in their hearts and their souls, and they share it. Okay? Trying to let y'all know life is bigger than we give ourselves credit for. So it's bigger than just you. You're not the only one going through what you're going through. And trust and believe there's folks out here looking to support what you really want and who you really are. We are bigger than our pain. But you can't hide pain and expect to move forward. You got to be willing to walk through the dark to get to the light. And I'm so grateful because my Creator gave me a purpose, and I was dealing with a lot of pain. And what he did was he pulled me up out of the darkness by sending me little lights, these little people or little voices that came into my space. Some of them at first were in books. Some came in video. Some came on YouTube. Some came on in audios at the time. You know what I'm saying? Audios. I listened to videos, audios, you name it. Then they came into my life. And they told me I had purpose. And you know what came about? The freaking blockchain. Gold and silver. And it was weird how financial literacy helped me become calm about life. How did that work? I didn't realize I was focusing on all the wrong stuff. Weird, right? I was focusing on something, on little things that kept stopping me from moving forward. And guess what? It took me to get out of my head and get over to some folks that just try to learn something new, just to give myself something new, a little different. I didn't want to go to the movies. I didn't want to go to dinner. I didn't want to eat another thing. I didn't want to have the frivolous conversations that I was having. I don't want to have the he says, she says, because you know what? None of that built my life. None of that was fulfilling enough. Sex wasn't doing it. Work wasn't doing it. All the projects I threw myself into wasn't doing it. I had to deal with the fact I was masking pain with stuff. And then I had to mind my own damn business. You're on with Breakfast with the Thomases. This came from a conversation with two people who found themselves back in a marriage. Yeah. My husband and I started this program about a year or so after we got back together. Yeah, roughly. It's been on almost 3 years. We created this show because finally we were talking. I've been married for 30 years. I've been knowing that man for 33. And we ain't spend all of it together because we were discovering people, that we were human beings, and that the world was bigger than we had grown up. It was disappointing. People would hurt us. We had to learn what people hurt us meant. And we did the work. We did the work, and we do the work every day. I love that man. Some people actually laugh at us now. They laugh at us because we're not a young couple, but we ain't an old couple either. We are getting through it. We have chosen each other, no matter good, bad, or indifferent. I had to learn that I didn't have to get divorced to be happy again. Nobody makes you crazy. They're just growing up like you are. And there's some things about the world, we got to grow up faster now, y'all. Our kids got to grow up faster. And we haven't even given them the foundation because most of us spent that time growing up and didn't realize we weren't training our kids to be prepared for this stuff. Because our parents were growing up in a world that was changing and they didn't get that. When is that going to change for you? You can stop that. You can have something to contribute. I tell everybody, I am looking for people. We are building the network. The doors are open. If you teach crypto, blockchain, gold, and silver, you need to be on P2G. If you teach future building, real estate, getting, literally digital financial literacies, broken down parts, I want all of it. Because one of the biggest and most important things is I ain't it, and I'm glad. You are it. We are it together. The community is all we got. When Obama said, we all we got, don't think it ended with him. We are truly still all we have. You want to see power? Be in action. Educate yourself. Secure your square and see other squares pop up securely next to you. That is how blockchain works. Try to break into a blockchain. I dare you. People keep going, oh, there's always crime on the blockchain. No, there's not. I teach you in our financial literacy class during our cyber safety who got hacked. It wasn't a blockchain. But you see, you got to be open to new information that's going to help you in this current world. I teach you history. We teach you history. I can't say I do. We teach you the history because I have to walk. I stand on the shoulders of other teachers and trainers that have more than me that I learn from. So I'm bringing it to the people and I'm getting other people. I'm looking for people to become apprentice. I have one. I'm ready for the next. She needs some help. We got another one coming. My question is, are you coming? People, this ain't an advertisement. I got ads. I love my ads. I'm excited. We just created a bunch of ads. This is the work. We go inside, deal with what's real, find resources, and we move. You know how long that takes you? One day. One day. You got one day to give yourself to get to know who you are, what you are made of, who you are, what you're here for, and then find out what you're made of. Y'all got one day? Get on p2gnetworks.com and go find that free schedule tonight. I mean it. Go find it tonight. No problem. Come on to the platform. I dare you. Come sit down in our platform tonight and find out who you are, what you're made of, what you can do with the stuff that you're given. Now, before we go, I want to come back to why Governor Hochul's doing what she's doing with this money and what you need to be doing. If you are in the New York area, okay, and I want y'all to start paying close attention because she didn't find them millions of dollars. They didn't, we found it. That's y'all money, baby. That's why she had to call it a refund. It's your own money. She ain't giving you nothing. This ain't stimmy. It's not a stimulus package. They didn't go and print up money of course they won't print for one state at a time. So do know that this isn't a stimulus. It's a one-time action because they owe you more money, y'all. They already owe y'all more money. You know how you get that check? Pay your taxes for 2024. That's how you do it. You go put in a tax form for 2024 and you get your check. Not some people, everybody getting it. Because guess what's been happening? Paperwork, money, rolling around. People's jobs, left and right. They didn't find it, baby. It's a movement to get you to do something. But what will you do with it? I'm going to leave this question with you and I'm going to ask you to join our class. Come on out tonight. I'm going to invite you. I invite you to come and see what we do, how we do it. You know, I love sharing what we're up to. I also love sharing some of our virtual spaces because it's really fun. We'll be doing an event coming up soon. I'm trying to see if we're doing it in the metaverse, or we're going to do it live. So if you really want to be able to be included, just say you don't want to come to class, go to the website, put your name on connect your name to our bot with your email where we can send you an invitation. I don't spam people. I teach, like I said, I teach cyber safety. You're not getting spammed by us. Your information is held private and personal to our platform. It makes no sense to share it. Who the heck shares their client information, which is ridiculous, unless that was their purpose? I want you guys to realize something. Tonight, we're going to have a lot of fun, but we do it every Wednesday. So don't kill yourself, but put yourself on our list so that you can get updates. We don't spam. My goal is to send you a message every once a week so that you'll know what's going on. Join us. Get the information. When things are updated, need updating, we got you. If you want to know what's up, go to P2G Networks TV on YouTube and definitely subscribe and put in for the notification. When we go live, when we do gold shows, have people on for interviews, which, by the way, you're going to start seeing live interviews. If you would like to be interviewed with your product or your service, come in the room. Definitely hit us up. I'll be booking people for our fall-winter interview sessions because we want to know. We need to know. We can't become Black Wall Street all by ourselves. And by the way, Black does not stand for color. I want you to notice the difference between my shirt, which is black, and my skin, which is not. I am not Black, and neither are you. If you want to understand that process, no matter what your shade, bring your butt to our Sunday nights, which are on there too. Because when you get out of that little crayon game, you'll see your finances move a lot faster. Some of y'all will come up from under that heavy debt that's under y'all. Some of y'all gonna fast forward this credit situation and start building, and you'll be protected. Some of y'all will be able to get out of some of these other things. Some people dying under the student loans. Good Lord of mercy. It's time, y'all, and it's here. It's just some information away. Where are you? So I want to get you guys on the other side of the door. My lovely husband, who unfortunately is having the worst time with technology, he's not able to get his camera on, y'all. So y'all gonna give Mr. Thomas some love. Give him some shout outs and let him know you care. Mr. T, you know we can't hear you on this little on the little one, right? We can't hear you on the little box. Go ahead, try it.
Technology is doing what technology does, and I'm grateful just to be in the space for the conversation. It has been a massive understanding of what's going on with the system. And look, come to class because we can give you the overview today. But what you need is the hands-on conversation and how to put it into play, because your finances, if you do not take advantage of them now,
they're being shifted.
It will be here for the next 10 years, and there won't be another shift. So I don't know, not 10 years, 10 generations.
Yes, thank you. 10 generations.
And there's nothing you can do about it once you miss it. And then it's really that conversation of your money, their rules, or their rules, their money. And you're just asking permission, once again, to play inside the sandbox.
Mm-hmm. So before the shift starts to happen, take action. Jump in. First thing you want to do is get information, education, educate yourself. You have too many resources, too many doors in right now. And all of that's talking about the doors closing. You know what the problem with the US doing anything? We live in an international society. The blockchain is an international financial opportunity. It's 24/7. and no one can control it without crashing their own economy. Now, one of the things I want you to understand is, or overstand, let's get the right language. I need you to overstand this one, is that if you don't have physical gold and silver in your life, then you miss out on an entire level of an economy. And I'm not talking about jewelry. I'm talking about the kind that's pure. You have to learn that. Come to class. And it's something I get to share with you in our free class tonight. So our free offering tonight, you'll get some what to do with gold and silver. You're going to get some how this works, what's happening in the economy, and why this makes a difference. But don't believe that gold and silver is going to save you under every circumstances, because we're going to talk about what's going to happen for that to be as important as it's going to be. Who is stocking up while you're sitting around chasing dollars, and they're printing them out of control into oblivion, because that's what's happening. My loves, that's my time. We're here for 1 hour to give love and support. We want you all to hop in, connect to us. If you're on one of these devices, hit us up in the back chat. It's not a problem. I always check my messages right after we finish to see who's sending me a message, what you need. If you need a link directly to, let me know. I will send it to you. If you're on Facebook with me, hit me up on our chat. Just chat me up. That's all. Friend me. But don't forget to like, subscribe, okay? You got to do that whole like, subscribe, and get the notification. You hit the little bell so you can get notified when we go live. Also, I'm really excited because I'm finding ways to pull in other programming. I'm also looking for people who have products and goods, because we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing 90 days, just 90 days. There we go. Sorry, y'all. We're going to be doing 90 days of marketing for others. We're going to be promoting for 90 days other people's platforms. So let us have this next month be yours, your promotion for what it is you do. I don't care if you bake cakes or make bracelets. It's time for us to get out here. And like I told you, the revolution will not be televised or streamed. So you're going to have to come to the Zoom and get your information. Let's go, let's go. And with this, we have Breakfast with the Thomases every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we'll see you on our Pay It Forward Friday. We thank you so much for being with us and staying in the room. Those who have given us love. Oh my God, someone gave us a diamond. I love it on platforms. When you give us love, you giving the community a big hug, because that's what we are. We are your community. We love you so much. And for those who don't know love like that, you now have that. And it's real. And for those who may be in other platforms that I've been on, we had to change locations for the Digital Financial Literacy Program. We're still here. The room is still open and you're still welcome. I love you much. Let's get it popping and see you soon. Bye, guys.